Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Venus, the planet of love and affection, the planet that represents luxury, beauty, creation, art, craft, music, is going to make its move in the sign of Aquarius on 31st of March, and this move will be till 27th of April. Now you have to understand that while Venus is in the sign of Aquarius, there are so many things happening in the other sphere, other section of the horoscope, such as Rahu and Ketu making its move in the sign of Aries and Libra. And because Libra is ruled by Venus, Ketu transit impacts Venus indirectly. Jupiter will make its move in the sign of Pisces on 13th of April. Pisces being the exaltation sign of Venus, again Venus gets affected because of this. Then you will also see that Mercury will make its move in the sign of Pisces on 24th of March, and it will continue till 8th of April. And Mars will make its move in the sign of Aquarius, joining this Venus from 8th of April. So you can see this is more like initially it will be a Jupiter-Venus conjunction in the sign of Aquarius till 13th, and then after 8th and after 13th, it will be more of a Mars and Venus conjunction. So you can see that this Venus is not free, but this Venus is heavily influenced first by the opposite energy of Jupiter, because Venus is Daitya Guru and Guru is Brihaspati Deva Guru. So there are two opposite thought processes and ideologies coming together. And then when Jupiter takes a good stand, Mars helps Venus to grow. This is an extremely crucial arrangement of planets just before Saturn makes its move in the sign of Aquarius. Now if you observe, 2 days after Venus transit out of Aquarius, because on 27th April Venus will make its move out of Aquarius zodiac sign, 2 days after Saturn will enter Aquarius. That means Aquarius, wherever it is in your horoscope, becomes a crucial component. Venus on one hand will try to heal this zodiac sign, because understand, Aquarius is 5th from Libra and Aquarius is the natural 11th house. Venus transit in Aquarius is more humanitarian. It is more about a global consciousness. It is more about bringing peace to humanity. It is more about healing and wish fulfillment. It is more about the material growth and financial success. And initially when Jupiter handles Pisces, it only improves the quality of Venus. It gives Venus the necessary resource. But the only problem here Venus will face is Saturn being 12th from Venus. That means this Venus may have resources, but this Venus is not spending unnecessarily. Rather, this is a more matured Venus transit. It's a more matured energy that can heal the Aquarius zodiac sign, and wherever Aquarius is in your zodiac sign, in your horoscope, will see growth, patience, improvement, but you will have to show the quality that the Venus wants, and that is humbleness, gratitude, patience, love, and humanitarian approach. More inclusive approach rather than the fight between Rahu, the aggression of Rahu. But Ketu's transit in the sign of Libra is also going to impact this Venus, because Ketu and Venus will be entwined. Therefore, you will also have to make sacrifices in order to have a holistic life. Those who will follow the path of greed will suffer, because Ketu might push you to take a side, and Venus on the other hand will take a chance. For some people who have a corrupt Venus or a corrupt moon in their chart, and I'm saying badly corrupt, that you may take a one chance of life thinking that okay, this may give you relief. But remember, taking a wrong side will actually negate anything positive done by Venus. Greed and jealousy can also come in this transit, but you will have to take care of it. There are many tamasic gun in everyone's life. this Venus may act on those tamasic gun. And it is like a test, whether you take the side of the tamas, that means darkness, or you take the side of the light. Venus is after all material and Maya. It is necessary. But after all, Venus is going to increase the tamasic energies of the body also. So when you're following the passion, when you're too enthusiastic about love, when you are too enthusiastic about emotions, be careful what you're doing. Aggression is not the solution here. Balanced thought, Jupiterian way of life, Saturnian way of life should dominate over Venusian way of life. But yes, if you follow the right path, not only it will result into great financial growth, but it will also give you peace of mind and will create a very positive and secured atmosphere where not only your business and career will grow, but also your personal life will see a proper satisfaction, proper happiness. And you can say this is the transit of love and peace. But if you do not allow jealousy to come in your life, and greed should not be the dominant force, money will improve, display of wealth should be reduced. Now, how is it going to affect your ascendant? Let's watch ascendant by ascendant analysis. But before that, do not forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss another update. For consultations, please drop me an email. You can also follow me on Instagram and Telegram for interesting and quick updates. Now let's start the analysis for every ascendant, how this Venus transit is crucial for you. Aries Ascendant. Now for you, Venus will be in the 11th house. Therefore, 2nd and 7th Lord going in 11th house is a very good placement of the planet. Venus, when it goes in the house of gains, will only give you more gains. It polishes the gains that you receive, and therefore it sets the ball into motion and it fulfills your expectations. It is a very, very positive transit, especially with respect to finances, career, because it improves the source of income and it gives you more wealth, luxury, prosperity, and abundance. Also, 11th house has the power of attraction, the attraction of wealth. So pray to Ma Mahalakshmi and pray for more wealth, pray for abundance. Venus, although will be in Aquarius, Venus will be with Jupiter. So there will be a Jupiter-Venus conjunction till 13th of April. And then from 13th of April, Venus will be dominantly affected by Mars, which would have already entered on 8th. So you can understand that there is a transition of energy from Jupiter to Mars that is associated with Venus, because Venus is going to stay till 27th. Therefore, you should be very much logical in your expectations. You will also see that there are conflicts happening when you're trying to fulfill your expectation, when you're trying to follow your passion. It's not easy. Venus will have a gradual expansion, and therefore you will see that this Shukra, this Venus, will also ask for sacrifice. You will have to choose a side, and you will also have to give something in return in order to get something. So if you have to fulfill your expectation, maybe there are some compromises on your way. So take that into account and use the positivity of Shukra. It impacts your personal life, it impacts your business, it impacts your wealth, it impacts your family. But it does give you positive angle to life. People who are waiting for marriage may find their life partner in this time, because Aquarius is a sign of network circle. It expands your network circle, it gives you room to expand, room to enjoy. And this is a transit which is more social. So your social circle, your social network will also increase. And if you are an Aries moon sign, Venus will be 11th from your moon, and therefore it will give you more pleasure. But you have to be very careful how you are spending your time, with whom you are spending your time. Utilization of time will be the theme of this transit, because Venus can make you completely lost in Maya, because after all, the two words that is associated with Shukra is Bhog and Vilas. But also remember that Venus will be in a Saturnian zodiac. It's a Saturn zodiac sign, and Saturn will be in the 10th house, which is 12th from Shukra. So, the resource of Venus is under the third aspect of Saturn. How? Second house from Venus, which is Pisces, will be having the third aspect of Saturn. So, Venus will have a very strong association with Shani, especially Shani being in the 12th house. On the day Venus will make its move out of the Aquarius, couple of days later on 29th, Saturn will enter Aquarius. So Aquarius will first have a pleasant atmosphere of Venus, and then the action, the karma of Shani. So what it does is it makes things easy, it softens the blow, and then allows you to relax a bit, to find out the feasibility, to have that enthusiasm, and once you are ready, Saturn in Aquarius will push you to expand your boundaries, but within the limits of law, within the limits that the universe has decided for you. Overall, this Venus transit is extremely positive, and it will correct the energies of Aquarius zodiac sign, that means your 11th house, therefore correcting the source of income, giving you some relief, and also increasing the wealth angle of life. Chant Ashtalakshmi mantra and bring Shri Yantra at home in this time frame. Visit Lakshmi temple and try to help as many people as you can, and these positive forces will help you grow and will make your life blissful and happy. I will say that for Aries Ascendant and Moon sign, this is a happy transit. Taurus Ascendant. Your Ascendant, and if you are a Taurus moon sign, then your moon zodiac is controlled by Venus. And thus that planet will be in the 10th house, which shows your physical and mental involvement in your career, in your workplace. So this is the right time to think about career that is made out of passion. People who are associated with Venusian zodiacs, Venusian related fields, that is media, arts, entertainment, gemstones, luxury, luxurious items, perfumes, clothing. Also, if you are associated with anything that is related to teaching and education of art and craft, influencer marketing, digital marketing, all these areas where there is decoration, there is creativity, there is feminine touch of energy, you will see a good growth in your career. But you also have to understand that Jupiter is already present in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in Aquarius zodiac sign when Venus will enter. So there will be a conflicting thought process. It is like you are trying to introduce a radical thought that can bring a good amount of change, but there is Jupiter going in the traditional way. So this is a tradition meeting the modern thought process. You have to fuse both of them. You can't reject it. Also remember, Rahu is going out of your ascendant, and while Venus is in the 10th house, Rahu will leave your ascendant. So the transit duration after 13th of April till 27th April is the best possible time, because Rahu and Ketu are no longer in your 1 and 10 axis. Jupiter will be in a very good position in your 11th house. I have made a video for Jupiter transit in the sign of Pisces. The link will be in the description box and pinned comment. Watch that video for more understanding of Jupiter transit. But with respect to Venus transit, Venus in the 10th house will give you much more relaxation. It will give you passion. It will give you more energy in your workplace and will make your work area a lively one. So you will see that you are also getting a job in the area, in the kind of work that you like. But remember, at the end of the day, this is a Saturnian zodiac sign. So Saturn in the 9th house also talks about dharma. So in order to get that, what you want, in order to follow the passion, you should also accept the dharma, accept your responsibility, and you should be willing to fulfill that parallelly. Now, if you talk about Venus, Venus is your 6th lord. 6th lord in the 10th house is a very good position, but it also shows a bit of badha. And in this case, try to help students, try to help as many people as you can, try to heal people through your words, through your presence, through your personality, meditate and chant Mahalakshmi mantra, and all of this will correct the energy. And on the positive side, this is an Upachaya house to Upachaya house transit, 6th Lord in the 10th house, which is good for your career. This shows that you are going to get some responsibility, some role that you always wanted. It's a very good transit, it's a very powerful transit. It's a transit where your image will be improved, you will be known, you will become famous. So try to work more towards yourself, try to groom yourself, try to have a very positive aura around you. And if you are negative, if you think that if you are surrounded too much with the negative vibration and negative energy, this is the time to detoxify and maybe take help of a learned professional like a healer, like an astrologer, who can guide you to the path of light. This Venus transit is extremely good for you, extremely good for your career, and extremely good to improve the karmic process in a way that you are doing the karma but in a relaxed manner. So make the best use of this transit, and I wish you all the best. Gemini Ascendant. Now if you observe, Venus rules a very important house, your 5th house. It is the house that defines your productivity, your expression, and Venus is 5th from 5th. When Venus enters Aquarius zodiac sign, it meets Jupiter, and Jupiter is 2 central house lord, 2 Kendra Bhava lord, 7th and 10th house. Now you can understand how crucial this conjunction will be in the 9th house. 5th lord, 7th lord and 10th lord are connected in the 9th house. It's a very, very good transit. It's a transit that can alter your destiny. Don't take this transit lightly, especially the events that will happen in your life after 14th of April is going to be extremely crucial, because from 14th April, Rahu will be in Aries along with an exalted sun, that too in your 11th house, whereas Venus will be with Mars in the 9th house, and Saturn will be in the 8th, stabilizing the 8th alone, whereas Jupiter will be in your 10th house. And that is a remarkable planetary arrangement for you, because once the 10th house gets the strong hold, once the 10th house is stabilized by Jupiter and the 8th house has Saturn in it, Venus in the 9th house can give you a lot of positive results. Mars is also going to be in the 9th house, so it's very good transit to travel, to go into to travel to places where you always wanted to visit. People associated with hotel travel industry will see positive growth in this time frame. Now, if you want to go for higher education, this is the right time, especially if you are into hotel management, if you are into Vastu, if you are into interior designing, architecture, fashion, this is the right place for you. Students associated with these fields will also see a good growth in their career. Now, if you see the complete arrangement of Gemini Ascendant, for Ascendant, this is a very good move. But do you know, for the moon sign, if you are a Gemini moon sign, Saturn, which is forming the Kantak Shani, might increase the negativity because it is now completely alone. There is no Mars after 8th of April. But Venus presence in the 9th house, that means 5th lord in the 9th house, gives you that understanding of the situation, and the simple understanding of the situation may bring acceptance, may bring the relief. And now, because you know the reason, you are in a better situation to understand and feel good about it. And this is the first step to move out of the negativity from the Kantak Shani. So now the negativity will start rolling itself backward and the positivity will move forward. But you also need to understand that Venus is a planet of Maya, Venus is a planet of luxury, enjoyment. So there should be some enjoyment, there should be some place, like you have to fulfill dharma about yourself. Think about yourself also. This also means that you can go and spend a week in nature, enjoying the beauty, relishing your time with yourself, and every day spend at least 1 hour in isolation with yourself, like reading good books, doing something that you always want to do, following a passion, learning guitar, anything that you always wanted, do it when Venus is in Aquarius. because Aquarius, Venus can heal your life like anything. For people who are associated with foreign travel, visa related issues, if you are facing visa related problems, you will see that will also be resolved while Venus will be in the 11th zodiac sign of Kal Purush. Now, Dharma Karma wants research. 10th Lord is in 10th house and Saturn going in the 8th house. Also ask this Shukra to analyze the situation, and therefore you need to welcome anybody who provides that analysis and gives you the idea of the situation. And the more accepting you are, the more fluid you are, the more flexible you are, the more giving you are, you will see that your life will grow more positive, life will grow towards light. You can say this is the beginning of the end of Kantak Shani, the Ashtam Dhaya and the negativity of Ashtam Dhaya for you. This is a Bhagya changing transit. Make the best use of it. Visit Devi temple, visit Lakshmi temple and chant Shri Suktam every day for good benefits. Cancer Ascendant. For you, Jupiter and Venus conjunction will be in the 8th house. Now this is where you will have to watch out for any unnecessary problems, especially related to taxes, investments and inheritance. Because of the conflicting nature of these two planets, there can be problems coming in from these two areas of your life. And for you, Venus is extremely important because Venus rules your 4th house and 11th house. 8th house is also the house of transformation. And Jupiter is forming a Vipreet Rajyog because your 6th Lord is in the 8th house. And when Venus, the 4th and the 11th Lord goes there, it means that there is going to be a remarkable transformation in your network circle, among your friend circle, and you may get to know the truth about somebody whom you have believed, truth about somebody whom you have trusted. So before investing your love, before investing your emotions, it is better to know where you are trying to put your trust in, to which person you are trusting. Even in business, how do you trust the vendor? How do you trust the person? How do you trust the business partner? All that will come under the scrutiny when Venus goes in the 8th house. This is a good time for investment, especially related to properties, buying insurance policies, securing your life, because this Venus and Jupiter will aspect the 2nd house, and therefore this means that you will have to secure and insure your family. Otherwise the insecurities may come up. Jealousy will be the theme of this transit, and because you are an ascendant of emotion, ascendant of moon, and especially if you are a Cancer moon sign, Karka Rashi, then Venus in the 8th house can trouble you, because these two gurus, the Shukra and the Brihaspati, will be 8th from the Chandra. Now, you also have to understand that in the future, there will be a Kantak Shani, that means Ashtam Dhaya for Cancer moon sign. So when Venus goes in the 8th house, this opens up the Pandora's box. This tells you what is right and what is wrong, so that when Saturn comes in the 8th from 29th of April, you start working towards it. Now from 13th April, Jupiter will be in the sign of Pisces, which is a good thing for you because now your ascendant is getting aspect from 9th Jupiter. So it's not that bad. Maybe there can be 1 or 2 hiccups. Maybe you are facing the heat of the Venus transit, but soon the Jupiter will give you the wisdom, support, and the same Venus transit will turn out to be effectively positive. So investment, inheritance is one area where you will have to be cautious. Your money should be saved for a long term, otherwise it will end up getting spent into unnecessary areas. With respect to marriage, you will have to invest more love, emotions, and reduce your expectations. Overall, this is going to be a mixed and a transforming transit for Cancer Ascendant and especially Cancer moon sign, and it is like a preparation for the Saturn transit in the 8th house for you. And this 1 month is like, it is like a medicine that you take as a precaution for any negative event that can happen in the future. I'm not saying that the Saturn transit is going to be negative, but treat this Venus transit as a healing transit. So accept all the changes, accept all the transformation. Do not be rigid, be flexible, be fluid like a river, because this is a feminine energy. And when feminine energy is going to bring the transformation, you must be accepting, you must be giving, and you must be fluid and flexible in your nature. Jupiter will help you, Saturn will help you, but this is the time when you understand the truth. Find the truth and seek the light. Leo Ascendant. Now for you, Venus will move in the 7th house. Jupiter is already there in the sign of Aquarius. Until 13th of April, Jupiter and Venus presence in the 7th house is extremely significant, especially if you have problems in your life associated with business, contracts, or marriage. Now you have to understand that Venus holds two crucial houses. It rules two houses, 3rd and 10th. Both are related to your ability to work, your career, and action. It's about karma. And when the planet goes along with Jupiter, which is actually your 5th lord, in the 7th house, it means you must learn through the circumstances, you must learn through the surroundings. The circumstances of life will give you opposite directions. It will put you into some sort of dilemma. It can create more confusion rather than solving the problem, because on one hand Jupiter was steadily aspecting your ascendant, but the presence of Venus will hinder any learning and would want you to take immediate and necessary action. Now you will have to decide whether is it the right time to take action in your life, or is it something that you are still supposed to learn. It is recommended that until Jupiter crosses to Pisces, you should wait, have patience, observe the surroundings, and depending upon the output that you get, depending upon the circumstances you are in, you can take the call, especially after 13th of April. Let the Jupiter, Rahu, Mars, Ketu, all four of them move their zodiac. On the other hand, the support from the spouse will always be there, but you will have to agree, and there should be some mutual understanding. It cannot be just your way, it has to be a 50-50. It has to be a middle path, because Venus and Jupiter holds opposite ideologies. They are basically the Rajasic and the Sattvic Tattva, both coming together in the 7th house is actually good, and it benefits the 7th house provided you are able to balance these two energies. You should go for cleanliness, clean your home, you can paint your home, decorate your home, have a nice and serene surrounding, and try to create a pleasant ambience wherever you are. And you will see that it will give you a good mindset, a holistic attitude, and a peaceful way towards life. With respect to career and health, this is a good transit. But remember, when an action planet, when a karmic planet tries to aspect your ascendant, you will be judged if you do not take any necessary action. So you will have to see whether you are supposed to take that action, so you are taking that action, or you are taking some action in your life, some steps in your life, just to impress maybe somebody else, or maybe you yourself. If it is necessary, it will be justified, and Saturn will help you go through that, because Saturn will be in the 6th house, Prarabdha Karma. But if it is not necessary, the same Saturn, the same Jupiter will start creating hurdles and can create disputes that you don't want to enter into. This is a transit where you will have to show balanced approach. You cannot just jump into a conclusion, rather you have to listen and absorb all the energy, wait, calculate, and then recalibrate. This is a transit of charm. This is a transit of happiness. But don't ruin it just by believing into something that has just been introduced in your life, and you quitting the long-lived tradition, the kind of tradition you are in. So it's a kind of a conflict between tradition and modern behavior, Jupiter and Venus. If you maintain balance, if you understand, and if you can take away the good things, good points from both of them, it's good enough. This transit will be absolutely good for you. Virgo Ascendant. In case of Virgo Ascendant, Jupiter and Venus will be in the 6th house. Venus will move in your 6th house, and Venus is a very important planet. It holds the 2nd house and the 9th house. Now, definitely when these two house lords go into 6th house, it talks about your duty towards your family, and it talks about dharma. So the first thing that you should do is you should enjoy fulfilling your duty. So you should simply accept, because this is a transit of gratitude, acceptance and surrender. 6th house is also house of enemies. So you will see that suddenly the enemies are actually becoming more smarter than you. So definitely this is not the time to fight with your enemy. Rather, this is the time to create a middle path, to bring truce, because Venus is actually going to heal this house. Because Venus has the power of Mrita Sanjeevani, and 6th house is the Rogastan, the house of diseases and disputes, you will see that presence of Venus can actually bring divine blessings and reduce the enmity by bringing in love. So now you can avoid war through peace, through diplomacy, through talks, and through mutual exchange of energy, say out of court settlements. From the perspective of health, this is a very good transit. Chant Mahamrityunjay mantra, because Mahamrityunjay mantra will help you a lot, especially with Jupiter going in the 7th house on 13th of April. I have made a Jupiter transit video. Please watch that video. The link is in the description box below. Jupiter will directly aspect your ascendant with Venus in the 6th house. This is a beautiful transit to heal the negative areas of life. With respect to loans, this is the time when you will see that your money is being invested into the loans. You are having job related travel. Suddenly you will see that your destiny can change and you can fulfill your prarabdha as long as you are willing to fulfill. So the key word here is your willingness to fulfill your duty. If you show that willingness, if you tell to the universe that you are ready to fulfill your duty in life, you will see that not only you will be able to fulfill the duty, but you will also get the room of enjoyment, luxury and abundance will come. 6th house Venus also shows that you should start helping other people. You should start donating a part of your income for social causes, because after all, 2nd lord is in 6th house. And on the negative side, your own words, your display of wealth, your ego towards your richness can put you into trouble, can create enemies, and also it can create controversies, especially in the matters of love and romance. Overall, this Venus transit is nothing but a precursor to the Saturn transit in the 6th house. So Venus gives you one chance that, hey, tomorrow Saturn will come and it will enforce you to fulfill your prarabdha. Why not you find some beauty and charm in doing the same, so that tomorrow when Saturn comes, things are not difficult for you. So Venus gives you that healing capacity. It heals you, but only if you allow that healing, if you allow Venus to give that necessary power, the divine blessings in your horoscope. And for that, you will have to be ready for some sacrifice. You will have to be ready to make some adjustments, and you must be ready to invest love and believe in peace, because war will not be a solution, fighting will not be a solution when Venus is in 6th house, because if you fight, Venus in 6th house is actually debilitated in the Kalpurush. So any negative energy, this is a sensitive Venus, and if you allow this Venus to behave in a negative way, it will show the sign of debilitation. I know it's not in Virgo, but your ascendant is Virgo. So Venus actually falls debilitated on your ascendant. And when in 6th house, you are supposed to fulfill your prarabdha. Help students, help female students, do something for female welfare. Chant the Mahalakshmi mantra. visit Mahalakshmi temple, and these temple visits, donating money for good causes, is actually nothing but your attempt, your participation in healing this world. Why I am repeating this word healing multiple times is because soon Venus will move into Satbhisha Nakshatra in the 6th house. Therefore, the theme itself is to heal. I hope you understand this and you will try your best to make the best use of this transit. Libra Ascendant. Now for you, Venus rules your 1st and 8th house. Therefore, not only it talks about your personal life, but it also talks about any changes that you can introduce in your personal life. And this Venus goes in 5th house, and you have to be careful here when you are investing in stocks, cryptos. So any kind of investment done in speculative market, commodity market, future market, investment, mutual funds, where the surety of return is not there. You will have to be very, very careful how you are managing the funds. 5th house Venus can make you creative. It will improve the quality of expression, and people who are associated with media, art and advertising industry, even if you are teaching, if you are associated with institutes that teach the media line, that are associated with media and journalism, internet, even the UI designing, the decorative part of life, Vastu, interior designing, fashion designing will see great boost when Venus will transit in the sign of Aquarius. But those who have children can face some conflict in understanding the need of the children, so you have to be more humble and more giving towards your sons and daughters, because Venus and Jupiter in the 5th house talks about some sort of dilemma, some sort of confusion. Yes, soon Mars will enter this zodiac sign and Jupiter will be out of it, which shows that success in the life of children will make you happy. And for everybody else, you will see that your enthusiasm, your expression, your presentation, your personality is going to improve, and you will have a lot of energy within yourself. This is the time to do the most creative task. This is the time when you should actually fulfill your dreams. You should follow your passion. You should learn something creative, maybe a musical instrument. This is the time to upgrade your learning skill that will help you transform your own identity. And for some, there will be an actual major career change, completely changing your identity, as if a corporate person becomes a singer. He is no longer a VP of a company or a director of a company. Rather, he is now known as a well-known singer. He is known as a YouTuber. He is known as a businessman. So there will be a transformation through creativity. So if you are creative, if you believe in that creative stuff, try your best. It will be good for you. 5th house Venus and Jupiter can create some sort of trouble related to stomach, and it can reduce digestion. So you must eat light food, good food, and avoid too much of sugar. Now, because 8th Lord is in 5th house, definitely it talks about major transformations in life, especially something that is associated with investments. So there can be some problems when you are trying to invest your money. So be careful, especially from the point of view of taxation and insurances. But otherwise, you can also get some good returns from already invested money that was invested from a very long time. If your money is stuck in the market, you will see that there are opportunities that you will get the money back. If you are under loan, then after 12th of April, you will see that the chance of repayment will also increase, and therefore it will reduce the financial burden. Now, Venus will directly aspect the 11th house, which has Leo zodiac sign. So it will reduce the negative heat of Leo, and it will give you more pleasant way of earning income. That means job satisfaction is on the cards, and it gives you a good environment to grow and become successful. But take care of your health, because your health can become the biggest pain, it can become the biggest block. Also, you should not invest the money in lucrative instruments hoping that it will give you a lot of returns, because if you don't check the feasibility, if you don't be practical enough, just the hope of getting the money can actually take away any possibility of receiving money, because you should not forget that Ketu will enter your first house and Rahu will be in the seventh house. Trust only yourself, believe in yourself, and don't be too sensitive with respect to environment, otherwise every small change can affect you badly. And in case that happens, chant Mahalakshmi mantra and Saraswati mantra, and that will reduce the negativity of all the planetary transits for Libra Ascendant and Libra Moon sign. Romance is on the cards for people who are willing to get married, people who are in a broken or a bad relationship will see signs of improvement. But this means you also need to invest your time, effort and money first, and then expect. Give love and you will receive the same. Scorpio Ascendant. Now for you, Venus rules your 12th and 7th house. So on one hand, it controls business. On the other hand, it also dominates the area of horoscope that you can say defines losses and also foreign travel. And if this Venus goes in the 4th house and this comes along with Jupiter, this is going to give a great boost, especially towards people who are into export and import of goods and services. Interior designing business will also improve. Educational institutes, if you're running or if you're associated with that, you will also see a great career boost. 4th house Venus talks about being in comfort zone. So it means that the work-life balance will once again be restored. You will follow your passion. You will believe in yourself and you will feel more happy and content. But wait, because Jupiter will be also in the 4th house in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it means it will ask you for some sacrifice. That means in order to be in the comfort zone, you will have to reduce your pace, you might have to quit something, you might have to surrender trying to reach a new goal or a new height. And if you don't do that, then definitely the greed may overtake. So you should be very careful that at what cost you are asking the success to come. What is the price of the success that you are trying to achieve? If the cost is justified, then it's fine. But if the cost is not justified, then this Venus transit will force you to quit, because 12th house is also the house where you sleep. That means you quit. This will bring major transformation, especially to people who are in business and business that is associated with luxury items, Venus related items, footwear. On the other hand, this will also impact marriage. This Venus can spark new love. So if you are in a strained relationship, you should give your attempt. You should show more love and affection. You should increase the radiation of the Anahat Chakra by practicing Pankaja Mudra every day and chanting Aham Brahmasmi. That improves the quality of love and affection. And that also gives you a soothing environment, a good relation, and it can recover bad marriages, bad relationships, and even a bad business partnership. 4th house Venus can also create some trouble related to mother's health. So be careful on that part. It can bring more changes in your home, say decoration, renovation, all that is on the cards for some people. And 4th house Venus and Jupiter combination also shows that you are spending money towards buying a new house, buying a new property, buying a new car. Good time to do that is from 17th of April till 27th of April. Also, you have to see your own horoscope if your Mahadasha or Antardasha is not blocking this, because transits are going to offer something based on your own Mahadasha or Antardasha. So you must check your own horoscope. If you have Venus and Ketu in your chart and you are a Scorpio Ascendant, or you have Moon and Ketu in your chart, then this Venus transit will act as a blessing for you. Fourth house also means something that you are connected with, that you're emotionally connected with, something that is very close to your heart. So start doing something that is close to you, something that you always wanted to do, something that is deeply seated inside your heart. If you are into any kind of mental trouble, mental trauma, depression, then this is the right time to find a good help. Because Venus has the power to heal, so someone can actually heal you. So talking to a counselor, doctor, mentor, guru, guide, astrologer, healer will actually help you recover from any mental trauma, any mental depression, or if you just feel stuck in your life. Venus aspect on the 10th house is going to give you great boost in your career, but you have to take care of your health. Sleep properly and have a comfortable sleep. So take care of your bed. Try to give yourself some physical comfort by buying nice bed sheet, taking care of the environment where you sleep. And if you have to sleep a bit extra, that's okay, but don't let lethargy take over you. Otherwise, you will see that Venus, in order to give you a lot of comfort, is taking away any possibilities of karma. Karma should be supreme for you. And also you have to understand that Mars will also join this Venus, which is your ascendant lord, on 8th of April, and it will continue to accompany Venus. And you have to understand that this Martian energy that is along with Venus till 27th of April means you and the environment, first house and the 7th house, are working hand in hand. So your personal involvement is necessary to change the situation of your own life. So don't sit and wait, but take necessary actions, and you will see that while you are working towards yourself, while you're working towards building your life and personality, changes are on the cards. But yes, sacrifices has to be made. You will have to pay the price for any change, any major transformation. Ensure that the price is justified and you are worthy of receiving that gift. Greed, jealousy can actually disturb you a lot. Social media profiles or your addiction towards social media can hurt you, can hurt your health, especially mental and emotional health. Overall, it's going to be a very comfortable, healing and a loving transit for you. Make the best use of it. Sagittarius Ascendant. Now for you, the Ascendant Lord is in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra and it is in the 3rd house. And Jupiter will make its move in the sign of Pisces on 13th of April. That is just in the middle of the Venus transit in Aquarius. And I've made a video on Jupiter transit in Pisces. Watch that video for more details. But if you have to understand the role of Venus just before the Jupiter makes its move, you have to understand the role of Venus being the 6th and the 11th Lord. For Sagittarius Ascendant, Venus is the Upche house Lord. And not only it represents job, securities, but it also represents gain, financial gain, love, relationships, and also your prarabdha karma. So if your ascendant is Jupiter, your prarabdha is associated with Venus. Both are the opposite type of knowledge. One is Rajasic knowledge and the other hand Sagittarius holds the Sattvic knowledge. Now when you combine both of them in the 3rd house, it makes you a good influencer, it makes you a good preacher, it wants you to take initiatives related to knowledge. So this is the right time to explore new avenues, learning new skills, upgrading yourself, and not only it will help your career, but it will also help you understand the nuances of life, the intricacies of life, and it will give you more opportunities to grow. People who are associated with education, learning, art and craft, influencer marketing, digital marketing, who are associated with websites designing, development, or who are associated with Venus related activities will see a significant financial growth, a significant growth in responsibilities. Any dispute in marriage can be addressed through dialogues and wisdom. And because without wisdom, you will not be able to reach anywhere, because you are the Sagittarius Ascendant, or if you are even a Sagittarius moon sign, then the third house talks about expression. When you are expressing yourself, you should express it with great wisdom and understanding the both sides of life. Purva Bhadrapada itself means understanding the polarities. So when your ascendant is in Purva Bhadrapada and when it will go into Pisces, it's a very auspicious time. And it's the time when you can create new things in your life. So this is the time when you follow your passion, you do something good, you do something creative, learn a new skill, even a musical instrument. Learning a new language is also good for you. Third house also represents siblings. So you will see that your relationship with siblings will improve and your tension with respect to your siblings will also reduce considerably. Now, because Venus rules your 6th house and 6th from 6th, it talks about taking the initiative towards your prarabdha. So you should understand your duties and responsibilities, and if you do it, you will see that your life will be at the right track and you will see things moving in the right direction. This is a transit of finding new direction. This is a transit of realignment and recalibration of life, and you will see some real good growth and hope during this Venus transit in the sign of Aquarius. Now, while Mars will also enter Aquarius around 8th of April and Mercury will enter Aries exactly after the Mars transit, you should understand that this calls for new learning, new achievement, lot of changes, lot of transformation. So April is a power-packed month for you. Make the best use of these energies by remaining humble, showing gratitude, by accepting changes and accepting the opposite school of thought, and not just immediately trying to counter it or not falling for a debate. Rather than a healthy discussion and a healthy understanding will be good for you. Overall, Venus transit in Aquarius is excellent for Sagittarius Ascendant and Moon sign. Capricorn Ascendant. 31st of March is when the Venus, which is your 10th and 5th Lord, will move in the 2nd house. Therefore, it becomes a very strong Raj Yoga. When 10th Lord goes in 2nd house, it means that you meet values with your career. You will display your learning and your wisdom in the fields that you are expert in. You will also see that something auspicious might also happen in your own home. Jupiter's presence in the 2nd house can also initiate some travel, especially travel related to leisure, or at least you can plan a vacation in this time frame. But there is something happening on your ascendant. That is Saturn and Mars conjunction. Now, Saturn is your ascendant lord, and when this ascendant lord prohibits the expansion of Mars, especially on 5th of April when Saturn and Mars will be exactly at 28 degrees on your ascendant, this will dominate the force and Venus will only show the positive colors after 14th of April. So till 14th of April, try to be as polite, as humble as possible. When you are feeling the pressure, when you are feeling the confusion, when you are getting frustrated because of the Saturn and Mars conjunction, all you have to do is pray to Ma Mahalakshmi. Chanting mantras, chanting bhajan, reading Ramayana, reading Bhagavad Gita and reading Sundakand will also help you, because when your words will be of divine, when you will speak the divine words, Venus and Jupiter will talk about wisdom. This will increase the possibilities of being peaceful, and it will not allow you to fall into the hands of darkness. Yes, Saturn and Mars can give you a new opportunity, because sometimes you can say that in difficult situation, you get one small chance that you can expand, that you can use to actually grow your life. Planets are not your enemies, by the way. So Venus in the second house will actually affect your career, and you will have to prove yourself. So if you have to prove yourself, don't shy off. Give all you have, show what you know, show your learning, and give a display of maturity. This matured way of action will lead to great success in the future, because Venus will soon go on 27th of April. Venus will be in Pisces zodiac sign. So overall, this is a gradual expansion, and in fact, Saturn will move in the sign of Aquarius on 29th of April, couple of days after Venus will move out of Aquarius. So definitely this is about financial healing. So the steps that you will take, the major changes that you will bring, will give you a lot of relief in your personal life. Your personal life will be impacted the most, and you might see that a relation, a very important relation, can create trouble for you. So you have to handle things extremely maturely, and if you do so, Venus will give you a lot of positivity. This is a good time to invest. This is a good time to secure your life through insurances, investments. This is a good time to think about financial growth. Decisions taken after 15th of April, while Venus is in the second house, about investments and insurances and taxation will only give you security and peace of mind. Overall, this is an extremely positive and a healing transit for you. Ensure that food that you eat is not for the comfort, but for the health. Eating healthy food and speaking healthy words are going to be the crucial methods by which you can use this Venus transit and bring planet and planetary energies in your favor. Aquarius Ascendant. Now if you observe, Jupiter is on your Ascendant, and if you're an Aquarius moon sign, Jupiter is on the moon sign, on the moon. So Jupiter was already trying to expand the Ascendant, trying to heal the Aquarius energy, the Aquarian energy, and I've already made a video on Aquarian dilemma. What has Aquarius as a zodiac sign suffered, and what were the possibilities of the zodiac sign? I've made that video. The link of that video you can find in the description box below. But when Venus enters this Aquarius zodiac sign, it is slightly different. It's a different experience altogether. Reason? The reason is that Venus rules the 4th house and 9th house. That means Venus rules the bhagya, destiny, the jnana, the guru's jnana, as well as your comfort of life. These are two very important areas, guidance and peace of mind. The two crucial areas, and the lord of these two areas is now on the Ascendant. So you're getting double guidance. But the guidance of Jupiter and the guidance of Venus is somewhat different. On one hand, Jupiter gives you the guidance of morality, expansion. Venus gives you the guidance of Maya. Venus rules 4th house and 9th house. Jupiter rules 2nd house and 11th house. So Venus transit will give you gain of money, will give you comfort. If you're looking for a major change in life, this will give you a comfortable change. So Venus will act as a healing transit, which will heal almost every area of your life. It will result into possibly good gains financially as well as from the perspective of personal life, but it will also improve your personality. Self-grooming, correcting the personality, improving the confidence, improving your speaking capacity, and you can say improving the soft skills can be the theme of this Venus transit. Yes, Jupiter is not going to stay for long. Jupiter will move out of your Ascendant, but in fact, Jupiter will go in Pisces, and remember, Pisces is a zodiac sign where Venus is exalted. So Aquarius will find the maximum positive potential of Venus transit, because the next move of Venus will be in Pisces. Now you have to understand the role of Saturn here. Saturn after 29th April will come on your ascendant. Therefore, it will create more pressure. So you can say Venus will do its best to create a comfort zone for you, to change things and realign your life. So when Saturn comes on your ascendant, you can actually understand it better and you can make the best use of the Saturn transit. It's like a preparation, and it is like the correct mindset will be created before Saturn comes and starts the changes, starts realigning your entire life from Aquarius perspective. So overall, I will say you can use the guidance of mentors, you can use the guidance of your mother, you can use the guidance of your love and your passion to actually create a new identity, actually create a new personality. This is the time to actually feel good about yourself and improve your self-confidence, because both the gurus are giving their blessings on your ascendant, that means on you. This is the best transit for you. Make the best use of it. Pisces Ascendant. You have to observe that Sun is on your ascendant, and on 14th April, Sun will become exalt in the second house. On one hand, Venus rules your third house. On the other hand, Venus rules your 8th house. So Venus is the agent of transformation. And when this Venus goes in the 12th house, it joins the Jupiter. Now you have to observe very carefully. First Lord, third Lord, 8th Lord are connected. And if you simply have to understand this, simply say first and the 8th Lord are now together, but in the 12th house. On one hand, it is a Vipareet Rajyog, but it is asking you to give up on something that is causing a lot of trouble. You have to quit something that you are trying for a very long time, but things are not happening. So sacrifice is going to be the theme for Pisces Ascendant. And for Pisces Moon sign, any emotion that is troubling you for a very long time, any relation may go away. Your mind, your subconscious mind is going to get the impact, and your thought process will change. If you see the overall position of planets in the 12th house, when both the gurus are in the Dwadash Bhava, Venus is more powerful. That means the transformation that will happen is actually more dominant, and it is advised that you go with the flow, accept the changes, and try to create a new identity. Try to correct your sleeping pattern. Don't wake up late in the night. Don't stay awake late in the night, and try to keep a track on your health. You may have to quit some foods. You may have to cut down on calories and sweets to take care of your liver and your intestines. Also, if you are facing any issues related to divorce, matters of marriages, that will also get resolved because of Venus presence in the 12th house. Yes, expenses on the other hand, unexpected expenses may arise, so be careful while you're spending money. Unnecessary shopping will only deplete your wealth. Because Ascendant and the third Lord are connected in the 12th house, you will also see that your words are not being heard. You are trying to convey your message, but it is either being misinterpreted or it is ignored. In such case, just wait till the end of April, let the planets move, let Jupiter come on your ascendant, and you will gain the strength. So it's not that this transit is negative, but I will say this transit is transformative, and you will have to take the initiative. Nobody else can. And if you take those initiatives, you will see that for Pisces, this will become a blessing in disguise, because remember, the two planets which are going to be in the 12th house from 31st of March, by the end of April, these two planets will be on your ascendant. Exalt Venus and a Swagrahi Jupiter on your ascendant. How can the future be good if present is bad? That means present is not bad. It is asking you to leave something behind, to quit, to sacrifice, to donate, so that tomorrow, when the planets are in the right position, you end up gaining and receiving. It only makes you spiritually a different person. Your approach will change, your mindset will change. love, affection, and responsibility will be the emotions that will dominate this Venus transit. Make the best use of it.